Well. Today we're back with something a bit special, I guess. Today we're just gonna talk about the bushes. Not bushes in general, but bushes in particular. These ones. The ones you put in your vehicle to make it into a small bush running around the battlefield. Which could be suspicious from time to time, I guess, but once they stop, hey, it's just an ordinary bush. Except for this shield I put on there for some reason. But I mean, I guess that could just be something you just found in the forest or something. Anyway, back to the task at hand there. When I played the British, I did not have any bushes, but now I do. I've gotten through the warband shop, where I think they are the most useful thing to get, actually. So let's jump into customization here and find some bushes. They're down here in the camouflage. So, first of all, first bush, where to put it? Well, when I play my tank, I always want to keep with some, odd divergences like the archer or something. I want to keep the front to the enemy and the turret like this. But this is quite obviously a tank, so let's go to tank hiding 101, which is obviously to break the outline of the tank. So I'm gonna place a bush here. I can't place it here right now because something is red, it means I can't use it. Obviously you can't fire through a bush with your machine gun or your gun. Really. Well, anyway. So sometimes it's kind of tricky you have to sort of trick around a bit. But this seems to be a good placement actually. Because now I've broken out the outline of the tank a bit, make it a much more fuzzy target. At least from the front, not from up here, but well, you always want to keep your turret towards the enemy anyway. And if you only have one bush, this is the way to go. And it doesn't really matter that there's this space up here. The important thing is that you want to keep this part to the enemy, and now they have a harder time to see you. It's like you got a smaller vehicle now actually. Except this big old machine gun there sticking up on top. Well, that's bad. And then we have the second sort of use of bushes. If we take a look at this armor here, you can see it's 50 millimeters, and the effective thickness is 71. Except if you go to these areas here, because they are really sloped, or well, sloped, I guess they're really flat. Looking from the front, so the effective thickness is much less. And also the machine gun port down here, it's obviously a weak spot because, well, you got the machine gun there and you have to use some moving parts and whatnot. So you want to cover these up a bit. So let's take some other bush here and spin around a bit, and you want to include as many of these as possible and hide them a bit like this. I think this would be good actually. Yeah, quite happy. I mean, I guess you can still see that one, but it's much harder to tell now actually. If you're in a hurry, because you should be in a hurry, because if you're looking this way, I should be looking right at you. So that's actually nice. It helps a little bit with the contour here as well from the side. Makes it a bit fuzzy. This is good news because we've still got 2 bushes to spare. Let's take this one, the dry bush here, which is more of a 3D bush, I guess. I guess it's no use to hide the transmission down here, which is nice to shoot at if you can't really pen anything else, but still, you want to keep this one hidden anyway. But I mean, I guess it could be nice to have one here. But in this case, I would prefer to have it up here, because it might be a bush running around the forest, but still it's a bush with a machine gun, which is much more suspicious. So I'll just put it up here somewhere. Yes, well, still you can see it from the side, but on the side you can also get the gun and whatnot as contour. This is much more hidden now. Yes, we're starting to get somewhere. And now we still got one more bush to go. I guess there are players who have 6 bushes and they can do what they want, but I only got 4. So what do I want to cover? I want to cover this little box here, which obviously looks like nothing you find in the forest. Or I can just sort of hide this area as well. You can actually think of it this from the side as well, because it really helps. Because not always are you going to find yourself looking straight at the enemy. But I think this could be nice, or perhaps like this little beard up here, which sort of hides your gun. I think I'm gonna go for a contour thing here, like this. Yes, if you see the enemy from the side or the front. Actually, I'm a bit not really happy with that one, because it's actually wider. Having it right here makes the tank a bit wider. Still something that moves, even if it's really well hidden. It's still something that is wider as well. Let's put it like this. And this is much better. Hides turret a bit, and well, another weak spot there as well. Hidden. That is nice. And now we still got 2 decorations to go. We're out of bushes, but there are other things. I've actually found these helmets really nice to use, because we still got these headlights here. They look like 2 eyes. Let's put a helmet in that one. I guess this one is a bit hidden there. And it's way less obvious now. And this is actually really nice. And then we can use another one. I don't think this will be too useful right now, but I just do this as a showcase sort of thing. You can put one a bit like this, or perhaps up there or something. That just makes it a bit less even. The surface a bit less even. A bit bumpy like this. And you see it's not really looking like a tank there. I broke the contour a bit if you come from the side. It wasn't the best showcase of it, but still, I guess you get the point. I should really just blow this one away. Big package. Well, who cares? This is what I think of when I place the bushes. And if you got some spare ones, you can perhaps put one on top as well, just to make it that little bit extra hard for the aircrafts to find, because I mean from the front it's kind of hard, but this is still quite obviously a tank. But it's the same from the side as well. Well, happy times. The tank is now hidden from the place where you should point it towards the enemy. Now we can just take a moment here to look at some of these other examples here. So this one, where you can actually, you always have one mounting point, and this one sort of sticks out quite a lot, so you can actually hide the entire gun here, which is really useful, because now you can actually see it from the side. It hides really much of the contour from the side as well as from the front. And then we got other things as well. I think this one is a good example of a good placed bush here. It's really nice. And you can also see that I got these headlights covered, and one of these bump things, just to make it a bit less even. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but well, I had one to spare. And then I think I made it on This one got really well done as well. Headlights covered and a really nice frontal one. I think this pine one is really nice for this top cover. And then I really got these birch leaves here in a good spot as well, because it really sort of, I guess it halves this obvious little black box here, which the aircrafts will spot immediately. And I guess halving it will actually sort of decrease it quite a lot, this chance of being detected, which helps. So there are different things you can do with your bushes, and it can be quite fun placing them. And sometimes it's tedious when you can't fit them because, well, there's some gun or some machine gun or whatnot. Now there was this other one I placed it and I couldn't place it because the spare tracks were underneath it. That sucks. You know, you get out of your vehicle to replace your tracks with some spare tracks and there is a bush in the way. Tragic. Well, enough whining about that. This is my small thoughts on placing your bushes. Happy times.